Hi guys, welcome back to Victoria's Creations. Today we're going to learn how to thread a machine. I had somebody comment in one of my videos that they wanted to see how to do it. So I have my machine here that you're going to see in a minute, and I do have two other machines later in the video where I walk you through, or I have somebody walk you through how to thread those as well. So let's get started today. And stay to the end of my video where I give a bunch of thank yous to some people who helped out with a local event, and I'll talk a little more about some event that we did to help benefit Australia. Okay guys, so here's my machine that you see in all of my videos. So let's get into this and show you some of the parts. So over here you see me using these buttons a lot. This button is going to reverse my stitch. This is going to increase the size of my stitch. This is going to stop it and stitch it just in one spot, not moving forward. This moves my needle. So if I push it, and you can't really see in the video, but you can see the button there. It's moving the needle a little bit. And then there's this button. So if we push this, and we push these, you see the numbers? That's moving. So here, let's see. See the needle moving? So that's really good for if you're doing any stitching with zippers. You can move it all the way over so that you're as far away from your zipper as possible. And then these buttons, these are gonna move to the different type of stitches I have. So I have all of these stitches up here. Most commonly, you can see me using 0, 0, and 3. Now, these ones here are great for anything with clothing that's going to stretch. They're elastic stitches. And then this guy is what I would use on any finished fabric to kind of like serge it, but without a serging machine. And then the stop button, or the fix button, you see quite a bit. That's going to knot the thread at the beginning and end. So I would fix it, it's going to knot my thread, I would sew, and then before I finish, I would fix it again. So now, let's open it up. So it opens like this. This is my tension. That's going to be how tensiony it is. I don't really know how to explain that too much, guys. I always keep it there. And then here is my thread. And then this little thing here moves up and down for when I want to spin my bobbin thread. So I will show you that. But let's go down here, and you can see the foot I have is the one I use most of the time. It just pops out really easily. You just pull it, just like that. So you have this little piece here that just clips right into this piece here. And then every machine should have a box that you can put your feet and your bobbins in. These boxes also do detach as well. So you can pull it right off of the machine. So if you need to stitch something round, it can wrap around this. And then of course it just goes right back on. And then you keep all your extra feet in there as well. So you can see I have a bunch of different feet in here. I really only use my zipper foot. Don't really get into it. And also I have this one too, which is great for any slippery fabrics. Helps it move a little more. So if you wanted to thread this, I'll pull this out. So this piece here, that's where you put your thread. So you just pop it on like that, and then you have a little cover you stick over and push it in there. And then to thread it, I'm doing this one-handed, so let's see how we do. It goes under this piece, and then over this one, down through this hole here, and then there's a little metal clip right there that's going to go behind, and then up through this hole here, and you have a metal arm right there thread it through the arm, bring it down back through the hole, and then there's another metal clip right here. My hand's kind of in the way there. You are just going to flick it through there, and then you're ready to thread your needle. So now with the bobbin, that's this guy here. So this pops off, and he comes out. So that's what a bobbin looks like. That's going to be on the bottom of the machine. Sometimes it's inside the machine here. They even have top thread bobbins that would sit up here. So for this guy, you're going to unthread your machine because you need this thread to thread the bobbin. So you would take the thread, and there's a little hole. See right there? Camera's not picking it up too well. You thread the thread through there. So here I grabbed an empty bobbin. So we're going to thread this with the machine. So you have your thread up here, no longer threaded in your machine, we just have it dangling here. We're going to take the ends of our thread, and we're going to thread it through that little hole on the front. Okay, so now let's just pull through the bobbin. So just grab that with your thumb, and you're going to take your thread, and you're going to thread it kind of like how you did earlier, under the first one, over the second, and now we have this new metal clip that we're going to go underneath. And then over here, we have that little button I showed you. We're going to push that to the down position, and we're going to stick our bobbin on there. So grab onto the tail, and go ahead and press your pedal. So you can see it's spinning. And I'm not going to wind it all the way because I don't need white thread right now. But you can see that it threaded your bobbin for you. So now you're going to trim it. And now you would just go ahead and thread the rest of your machine because we don't need it unthreaded anymore. And now to load your bobbin in, you're going to take the top part with the tail. And you want to cut the tail off. You don't want to leave that on there. It'll act weird in your machine. So the hole is going to be in the top. You just drop it in that easily. Pull it around like that. And then pop your top on. You just threaded a machine. Okay, so your needle, you're going to have to change that quite a bit. There's a lot of different types of needles. So to change that, there's this little piece here. This turns. You want to grab the needle. You're just going to turn it just a little bit, and the needle will slide right out. So when you're putting a needle in a machine, there's two sides. There's a round side and a flat side. So the round side is always going to be facing towards you. So they do sell little things that you can use to put a needle in. Mine is super simple, it just pops in. I do have one, I'd have to dig it out to show it to you, but I don't ever use it. So you just put the needle, even if you don't have a presser foot on, you don't need one. So you just put the needle with the round part facing you, and there's a little hole up here the needle just slides right into, just like that. Then you just tighten the little metal piece, and your needle's in there. That's all there is to changing a needle. Okay, so I showed you how to thread it. So most machines will have two wires on the side here. One's going to be your foot pedal, one's going to be your plug. And there's also this wheel. So that's going to move the needle up and down. So you can see, I'll put my hand on it. I'm just turning it. And as you can see, the needle is going up and down. So that's good if you're in the middle of a stitch and you want to hold the fabric in place. You can just push the needle down into it. Or if you're traveling. So whenever you travel, you always want to travel with your needle in. So you pop a piece of fabric in there, and my presser button, this, is just going to move the foot down. So you plop the foot down and push the needle into the thread. Now you're ready to take your machine somewhere. It's nice, safe, and secure. So those are the basics of my machine. So I do have 2 more machines I can show you because we went to the Aurora Sewing Center and the manager was nice enough to thread one of them. And I have another one from one of our other sewers who has a machine that's like mine, so it's threaded the same way, but I thought I'd throw it in the video. So let me move on to showing you those machines. Go ahead.
All right, so we have a Bernina 330 here. We have a CB bobbin. So Bernina 330 and the 350 and several other models are threaded the same. The bobbin we're going to put in here, and generally we're going to pull it so it's going counterclockwise, and we're making a P with the thread. You can see that. We're going to put the thread through and just clip it in. Make sure that arm is up and place it in. It should snap right in. Cut your tail, your thread of the bobbin, so there's a little bit of a tail in there, and we can shut the door. Now we're going to thread the needle. Best way to thread all machines, 2 hands. So you're creating a little bit of tension. You're going to clip it in the back here for the pre-tensioner. Down, back up, catch that arm. Now down to that needle catch. And now we're just going to thread the needle. Now, not all machines have an auto threader on the needle, but this one does. And there we go. Simple as that.
Okay.
Now we're ready to go. Thank you.
Here we have a Husqvarna machine. This one personally isn't mine. It's one of our sewers who was helping with the event today. But it threads the same as the one you see in all of my videos. So you have your bobbin, which is a little plastic bobbin. You would wind it with your little spool here. It just drops in here in the bottom. And you pull out the tail and clip it. Then you have your little tray piece. You push it back in and your bobbin's threaded. For the top one, you're going to grab your thread. You are going to wind it under this piece, over this piece, down through here, around this metal clip here, up. You have a metal hook here, so wind it over the hook, down through your hole here, and there's a metal clip here that you're just going to wind it through, and now you are ready to thread it through your needle eye. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Thank you so much for watching the video on how to thread a machine. I do want to mention that the week before we had all gone to Aurora Sewing Center to do a huge sew-a-thon for the hurt animals in Australia. We made 61 pouches for all of the animals. A lot of them got donated to our local rescues here. And I want to drop a huge thank you to Joan for printing all of the patterns. You are a rock star. Joanna, you did awesome helping me with all the sewing. I also want to thank you, Eric, who is my boyfriend, who was a huge support during the entire event, helping with the cutting as well, and made a whole bunch of little pouches for us to sew. Thank you. And Charisse, cutting. Oh my goodness. If you wouldn't have helped, we would have been so far behind. You rocked it. So thank you all of you for helping, and I want to thank the Aurora Sewing Center for donating the time to let us all come and do it. And I'll link the news channel's information that you can see everybody in action. And a big thank you for the rescue that brought the kangaroos, the Niagara Down Under. You guys were so awesome for bringing those 2 baby kangaroos. They were a huge hit. Everybody loved to see them. And they got to see them in action with the pouches and the bags we were making. So we just made a whole bunch of these little wildlife pouches. I do have a video coming out for how to make these. They're 5-minute craft. If you have any cotton or flannels laying around that you just want to get rid of, great for these. You can make these really quick and give them to any local rescue in your area. And again, I want to thank everybody who helped out with this event and made it possible. And thank you for my subscribers and anybody just tuning in. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel for future videos to come. If you have any questions in regards to how we did anything with the machine, leave them in the comments. Let me know what else you want to see. Thank you again for watching. Bye.